So we're going to go ahead and do synthetic division on this polynomial. So to do synthetic division, we place a little box here, and inside that we're going to put the opposite sign, or we're going to put this constant in there, but with an opposite sign. So instead of positive 2, we're going to put negative 2 in here. And then to the right of that, we will put the leading coefficient and the other coefficients and constants of this other polynomial there. So we put 3 over there, and then we go ahead and place the next number beside it. So we place a 2 beside that, and then negative 6 beside that, and last but not least, a 2. Okay. And then we're going to go ahead and draw a line, and that box in this line is just to keep things nice and organized here. And the next step is to go ahead and bring down our first number, 3. And then now here's where the repetition starts. So we take that 3 times the negative 2 that we have in the box, and we get a negative 6. Okay? And that negative 6 is placed underneath the next number, the 2. Then we go ahead and we add these numbers together. 2 plus negative 6 is a negative 4. And then it repeats. Negative 4 times the negative 2 in the box would be a positive 8. And then we add, and we get a positive 2. And then it repeats. The 2 that we have there times the negative 2 in the box, that goes underneath the other number up here, the 2. So 2 times negative 2 is negative 4, so placing that negative 4 underneath there. Add, and we get our remainder, minus 2. Now we're ready to go ahead and write this, write our answer out. So our final answer here is 3m to the second power minus 4m plus 2 minus 2 over our divisor of m plus 2. Okay? And there we go, we have our answer. Now how did I know I should start with the leading, how did I know I needed to have a degree of 2 or power of 2 on the leading term there? Well, I knew that by taking the degree of the leading term on this polynomial and subtracting it from the degree of the leading term on the binomial. 3 minus 1 is 2, so that's why I put a 2 there. Let's go ahead and do long division with this now. Okay, so switching over and doing long division. Inside our long division symbol, we're going to go ahead and put our polynomial. I'm going to write small on this, I don't have much room left. So we're going to go ahead and put 3m cubed plus 2m squared minus 6m plus 2. And I'm going to divide that by m plus 2. Okay. Now up at the, to start this process, I'm going to put my results up at the top above the division symbol here. Okay. But to begin this, I need to take the leading term of this polynomial and divide it by the leading term here, in this case m. So 3m cubed divided by m, what would that be? That would be 3m squared. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and take and put 3m squared above there. Now I take the 3m squared and multiply it by this binomial that's here. Okay, and I place that result underneath here. Okay, so 3m squared times m is 3m cubed. And that 3m squared above there times the 2, that would make plus 6m squared. Okay? Then I can go ahead and I can subtract all this stuff here from the top 2 terms. Now if I do that, it's a little bit more difficult, so how about we just distribute that negative and then add instead of subtract those, okay? So I'll distribute the negative, and that's going to change the sign on everything there. So I have negative 3m cubed minus 6m squared, and then I'll just add. It's easier. So 3m cubed plus negative 3m cubed is 0. 2m squared plus negative 6m squared is negative 4m squared. Okay, so I have negative 4m squared there. Bring down my next term here, and so I have a minus 6m. Okay. And now the process can repeat again. This time, though, I divide this leading term, negative 4m squared, by the m. Okay. So dividing negative 4m squared by that m there, I have negative 4m. So I place that result over here, negative 4m. And then I'll multiply that negative 4m times this binomial here, and the result will go underneath here. Okay. So let's go ahead and do that. Negative 4m times m is negative 4m squared. And negative 4m times 2 would be negative 8m. Okay. And now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to subtract the top there from the bottom there. Okay. So I'm going to subtract all that. If I distribute the negative that's out front there, that'll change the sign of everything there. Okay. So now I can just add instead of subtracting. So I have negative 4m squared plus 4m squared, that's 0. Negative 6m plus 8m would be 2m. Okay. So I have 2m there. I bring down my next term, which is plus 2. And then the process repeats. This time I divide this 2m by the m that's out front there. Leading term. So 2m divided by m is 2. So I have plus 2 there. Then take that positive 2 and multiply it through on the m plus 2. Okay, so 2 times m would be 2m. And 2 times 2 would be 4. Okay, and so now we're just going to go ahead and we're going to subtract. Okay, so we subtract all that. But if I subtract all that, you know, it's easier to distribute the negative and add. So that make minus 2m minus 4, right? Okay, so now we add 2m plus negative 2m is 0. 2 plus negative 4 is negative 2. And so I get the same result there. I have a remainder of negative 2 over m plus 2. And so we can go ahead and combine all that. And if we do that, we get the same answer, okay, that we got before. So everything appears to be good with this. We did everything correctly.